I am over 60 and the armed forces thinks I'm too old to track down terrorists. You can't be older than 42 to join the military. They've got this whole thing backwards. Instead of sending 18-year-olds off to fight, they ought to take us old guys. You shouldn't be able to join the military until you're at least 35. For starters, researchers say 18-year-olds think about sex every 10 seconds. Old guys only think about sex a couple of times a month, leaving us more than 280,000 additional seconds per day to concentrate on the enemy. Young guys haven't lived long enough to be cranky, and a cranky soldier is a dangerous soldier. My back hurts, I can't sleep, I'm tired, and I'm hungry. We're bad-tempered and impatient, and maybe letting us kill some assholes that desperately deserve it will make us feel better and shut us up for a while. An 8-year-old doesn't even like to get up before 10 a.m. Old guys always get up early to pee, so what the hell? Besides, like I said, I'm tired and I can't sleep, and since I'm already up, I may as well be killing some fanatical son of a bitch. If captured, we couldn't spill the beans because we'd forget where we put them. In fact, name, rank, and serial number would be a real brain teaser. Boot camp would be easier for old guys. We're used to getting screamed and yelled at, and we're used to eating soft food. We've also developed an appreciation for guns. We've been using them for years as an excuse to get out of the house away from the screaming and yelling. They could lighten up on the obstacle course, however. I've been in combat and never saw a single 20-foot wall with a rope hanging over the side, nor did I ever do any push-ups after completing basic training. Actually, the running part is kind of a waste of energy too. I've never seen anyone outrun a bullet. 18-year-old has a whole world ahead of him. He's still learning to shave or to start a conversation with a pretty girl. He still hasn't figured out that a baseball cap has a brim to shade his eyes, not the back of his head. These are all great reasons to keep our kids at home, to learn a little bit more about life before sending them into harm's way. Let us old guys track down those terrorists. The last thing any enemy would want to see is a couple old farts with bad attitudes and automatic weapons who knows that their best years are already behind them. Hey, how about recruiting women over 50 in menopause? You think men have attitudes? Oh my goodness. If anything else, put them on border patrol. They'll have it secured in the first night. The IRS decides to audit Grandpa and summons him to the IRS office. The IRS auditor was not surprised when Grandpa showed up with his attorney. The auditor said, "Well, sir, you have an extravagant lifestyle and no full-time employment, which you explain by saying that you win money gambling. I'm not sure the IRS finds that believable." "I'm a great gambler, and I can prove it," says Grandpa. "How about a demonstration?" The auditor thinks for a moment and says, "Okay, go ahead." Grandpa says, "I'll bet you $1,000 that I can bite my own eye." The auditor thinks a moment and says, "It's a bet." Grandpa removes his glass eye and bites it. The auditor's jaw drops. Grandpa says, "Now I'll bet you $2,000 that I can bite my other eye." Now the auditor can tell Grandpa isn't blind, so he takes the bet. Grandpa removes his denture and bites his good eye. The stunned auditor now realizes he has wagered and lost $3,000 with Grandpa's attorney as a witness. He starts to get nervous. "Want to do double or nothing?" Grandpa asks. "I'll bet you $6,000 that I can stand on one side of your desk and pee into your wastebasket on the other side and never get a drop anywhere in between." The auditor, twice burned, is cautious now, but he looks carefully and decides there's no way this old guy could possibly manage this stunt, so he agrees again. Grandpa stands beside the desk and unzips his pants, but although he strains mightily, he can't make the stream reach the wastebasket on the other side, so he pretty much urinates all over the auditor's desk. The auditor leaps up with joy, realizing that he has just turned a major loss into a huge win, but Grandpa's own attorney moans and puts his head in his hands. "Are you okay?" the auditor asks. "Not really," says the attorney. "This morning when Grandpa told me he'd be summoned for an audit, he bet me $25,000 that he could come in here and piss all over your desk and that you'd be happy about it." Never mess with old people.